Okay, so today we're going to look at using a formal written method for multiplication. Please use squared paper for this. It helps to set out the work in columns, okay? One of the things that you might be asked to do today is just simply looking at taking a straightforward sum like 3 times 4, the answer is 12. 3 times 40, there's a quick way of doing this, which is just to look at the number of zeros. So you say 3 times 4 is 12, and add the same number of zeros on, 120. And if you can spot the pattern, 3 times 4 is 12, add the same number of zeros on, you get 1,200. So some of you might be working on that today, just looking at the pattern where it gets 10 times bigger. So 40 is 10 times larger than 4, which is why the answer 120 is 10 times larger than 12. 400 is 100 times larger than 4, which is why it ends up, this answer is 100 times larger than the original answer you got. So once you spot the pattern, it's very straightforward. Now, the other thing you might be asked to do is to turn a linear sum, that's a sum that's written in a line, into a column sum. So here, we've got 3,127.9 times 3. So please use squared paper. So I'm going to write in each box 3,127. I'm going to put the decimal point here, 0.9. And I'm going to multiply it by 3. Now, where is 3? It's not 3,000, it's not 300, it's not 3 tens, it is 3 ones, so the 3 can go here. Because here, anything after this is tenths in the tenths column. So I'm going to put in the decimal point before I do anything else. And I'm going to add in my equals lines here. The reason you put in the decimal point just means that it just reminds you what to do. And then you can do your sums. So 3 times 9 is 27. So we carry the 2, you all know how to do this. 3 times 7 is 21 plus 2. 21, 23. 3 times 2, do you remember how to do this? So you work your way along. 3 times 2 is 6, and we add the 2 in, 6, 7, 8. Should cross that one off. 3 times 1 is 3, and 3 times 3 is 9. So the answer to that linear sum, 3,127.9 times 3, the answer is 9,383.7. So you've got your answer. So most of you will be working on that today. And if you're feeling confident, the challenge is if there are some missing digits. And that, in this case, it's a bit like a puzzle. If you look at this sum, you've got it all set out. You know that's a multiplication sum. You know there are some of the answers, but we don't actually know what we're multiplying by, so it's a bit of a puzzle. So we're multiplying something by 7 and getting the answer 1. Well, it can't be 7 times 1, because the answer would be 7. So if we look at the 7 times table, 7 times 2 is 14. That wouldn't give you the answer 1. 7 times 3 is 21. So the answer must be that what you're multiplying by must be 3, because there's a 1 here, and there should have been a 2 carried there. So you've got to use a process, it's like a puzzle that you're figuring out. So 7 times 3 is 21, so we now know we're multiplying by 3. 3 times what would give you the answer 8? Well, don't forget, you've added this in. So because you've added this in, you need to take it away. So 3 times what would give you the answer 6? So what do you think it must be? 2. 3 times some 5 gives you an answer here, but we don't actually know whether it can't be 3 times 5, yes, you know the answer is 15. So 5 goes there, 1 goes there. Now this one needs to get added in, which means that answer is 8. And look, you've got 1 here, so the final answer is 18. So 3 times what is 18? This missing digit is 6. So you've got to try and use logic, and you need to feel confident in your times tables. Don't forget that sometimes they don't give you the number which was carried underneath. If that is there, once you've figured out what that is, remember to subtract it from that before you continue the rest. So the missing digits challenge is a really nice one if you're feeling super confident with your times tables and with multiplication setting out. And there are 3 mastery challenges today which are really lovely, and so if you're feeling confident I would recommend you go on and do those, because they'll really make you stop and think about how you apply your multiplication skills. Enjoy today's lesson.